The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is brought to you by Clinica Sierra Vista.
Welcome back to the 17 News at Sunrise podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Good morning here at 5 a.m. Thanks for waking up with us. I'm Maddie Jansen. Elena Rusk in this morning for Alex Fisher.
A man in the hospital after an officer-involved shooting in Wasco. The Kern County Sheriff's Office saying it happened just after 1 a.m. yesterday morning on Gromer Avenue. According to the KCSO, deputies responded to a report of gunshots and they tried to pull over a vehicle when the driver led the deputies on a short chase that ended in a crash. Now, it's not clear what then prompted at least one deputy to fire at the driver after that crash, but the driver was hurt and taken to a hospital. He is expected to survive. KCSO has not given us any more information on whether the man was armed or whether he was connected to the original report of gunshots that they were responding to. We'll continue to provide updates on this story as we learn more.
And police are asking for help this morning finding a missing man who's considered at risk. 24-year-old Derek Austin, last seen Saturday near Chandler Way in South Bakersfield. Austin's described as 5'9", 155 pounds with brown hair and brown eyes. He was last seen wearing a black leather jacket, tan pants, and white Reeboks. Police say he's considered at risk because of a mental condition. Anyone with information on Derek Austin's whereabouts should call BPD at 327-7111.
Now to one of our signature issues, Kern's sober reality. An investigation continues after a woman was killed in a suspected DUI crash on the 58 in East Bakersfield. It happened just after 2 a.m. yesterday morning. The CHP saying the 50-year-old woman and a passenger were broken down on the side of the 58 when they were hit from behind. Officials say that driver, identified as Gilberto Gallego Jr., veered off the roadway out of control before hitting the broken-down car on the shoulder. Gallego suffered minor injuries and was taken to a hospital. The woman who died has not been identified. Her passenger was not hurt. The CHP believes Gallego was impaired when the crash happened.
5:04 is your time now, and 17 News is your local election headquarters. Several House Republican leaders say Bakersfield's Kevin McCarthy has enough support to become Speaker of the House in the next Congress. Congressman Mike Turner of Ohio and Michael McCall of Texas went on TV Sunday to express their support for McCarthy. Republicans won control of the House with at least 220 seats. 2 are still undecided. McCarthy needs at least 218 votes when the full House convenes in January. As for those handfuls still on the fence, about 5 to 8 House Republicans have said they're leaning toward voting against the Bakersfield congressman.
Meantime, if President Biden does announce to run in 2024, California Governor Gavin Newsom says he will not challenge Biden for the Democratic nomination. Politico reports Newsom told the White House he's, quote, all in on the president's re-election and is waiting his own turn. Anticipating Trump will be the GOP nominee in 2024, Newsom says Biden beat Trump once and can beat him again. The governor won re-election to lead the country's largest state during the midterms, and he has won 3 elections in the last 5 years.
Congress returns to a lame duck session this morning following the Thanksgiving holiday. Democrats have a lot on their plate that they hope to get done before Republicans take over the House in January. NBC's Bree Jackson is in Washington with more.
Maddie, with only a handful of working days left before the new Congress begins, Democrats say they are trying to get as much done as possible while they still have control of both chambers. With a new era of divided government coming in January, there's an aggressive push for President Biden and Democrats to get through their lame duck session legislative to-do list.
I'm going to try to get rid of assault weapons.
After recent mass shootings at a Virginia Walmart and a Colorado gay nightclub, there are renewed calls for Congress to pass tighter gun laws.
This is a choice to allow this to continue to happen. The laws that we're talking about passing, red flag laws, assault weapons bans, they're wildly popular.
Republicans again argue that mental health, not weapons, is the problem.
I think there's overwhelming bipartisan support to fund better mental health programs and try to increase communication between law enforcement agencies and social services groups to try to better identify these troubled people before they commit crimes.
As the clock winds down on Democrats' control of Congress, the party is also looking to take action on election laws and protecting voting rights.
We need to look at the John R. Lewis Voting Rights Act. I'm not going to get off of that.
Lawmakers are on track to codify federal protections for same-sex marriage.
Marriage equality is now on the march towards final passage. Thank goodness.
Also on the list of unfinished business, keeping the government funded past December 16th and preventing a government shutdown. Also on the to-do list for Senate Democrats this lame duck session, confirming more of President Biden's judicial nominees. In Washington, I'm Bree Jackson for 17 News.
Santa made an appearance at the Bakersfield Animal Care Center this weekend. The shelter welcomed folks Saturday to take pictures with Santa and their pups. It was the perfect chance to take care of Christmas card photos, browse adoptable pets as well. It's all part of the shelter's effort to get families to adopt, not shop, this holiday season.
This time of year, we see a lot of people getting dogs from breeders, but what happens when they get dogs from breeders, those dogs end up here anyways, and our adoptions drop. So we are trying to promote our adoptions. We definitely want to move some dogs, and then hopefully we can help match people up with the right dogs so we don't see them ever come back again or back into the shelter system again.
Our local shelters are still over capacity heading into the Christmas season. The BACC sent a rescue mission of 30 dogs up north on Saturday. And happening Thursday, it's time for the Bakersfield annual Christmas parade. It's the 40th year. It kicks off at 6 p.m. and will follow the usual parade route beginning outside of our studios here in downtown Bakersfield at 22nd and L Streets before cruising through the streets of Bakersfield. You can find a parade map and the route at bcparade.com. We can't wait to see you out there. Former President Donald Trump is facing growing backlash this morning, even from members of his own party, criticizing the current 2024 Republican frontrunner for dining with controversial musician Kanye West, along with a known white supremacist. NBC's Ali Vitale has more.
Another reckoning for the Republican Party after former President Donald Trump dined with a white supremacist at his Mar-a-Lago club.
Trump is really impressed with Nick Fuentes.
Rapper Kanye West brought Fuentes, a neo-Nazi, to dinner with Trump, who says he didn't know him. In the aftermath, silence from GOP leadership. The loudest condemnations coming from those Republicans likeliest to challenge Trump in 2024.
I hope someday we won't have to be responding to what former President Trump has said or done. In this instance, it's important to respond. It's very troubling.
Former Trump ally Chris Christie calling it another example of Trump's awful lack of judgment.
He's issued a statement and said he didn't know who those people were, but at any rate, my focus is going to be on investigating the current administration.
It comes as Republicans ready to take control of the House and ramp up oversight.
We're going to investigate between 40 and 50 different things.
Among them, COVID-19 funding and the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan.
The veterans deserve this first and foremost.
Plus, more controversial topics like Hunter Biden's laptop. But while the GOP game plan is set, who will lead the charge is not.
Let's get America back on track.
Top Republican Kevin McCarthy working to win the 218 votes he needs to become House Speaker. A handful of Republicans vowing they'll never vote for McCarthy toughens his task. And yet,
The fact is, what's the alternative here? I do think he will get the votes to 218 on January 3rd.
But even as Washington looks ahead to 2023, one key 2022 race left to run. Georgia voters flocking to the polls this weekend in that marquee Senate runoff. More than 90,000 voted already, rivaling November's midterm early voting numbers. A win here still essential, even though Democrats will already keep control of the Senate.
Ali Vitale reporting. Lawmakers are sprinting to the end of the calendar year with a long list of to-dos, ranging from election reform to codifying same-sex marriage protections to funding the government.
Well, the post-Thanksgiving travel rush is on, but thousands of flight delays are creating a travel mess. By midday yesterday, more than 2,500 flights into or out of U.S. airports were delayed. The reason? Severe weather, including strong winds, rain, and snow hitting major cities. According to FlightAware.com, more than 2,500 flights have been delayed so far today, including 2 out of Meadows Field, a 5 a.m. flight to Dallas, and an upcoming 8:30 to San Francisco. AAA had forecast that nearly 55 million people plan to travel 50 miles or more from home this Thanksgiving weekend.
2 people were rescued overnight after a small plane crashed into power lines in Maryland. Take a look. Rescue units were dispatched to the area around 5:30 after getting reports of the crash in Montgomery County. They arrived to find that small plane suspended about 100 feet in the air. It had hit a tower. Before those people could be removed from the plane, crews had to go up to the wires and perform grounding and bonding to secure the plane to the tower, and that took at least an hour. The 2 people were taken to local trauma centers with serious injuries. The cause of the crash is not known.
While making headlines around the state, an investigation continues this morning after a suspicious house fire in Riverside left 3 people dead. The fire was reported just after 11 a.m. on Friday in the La Sierra area. Riverside police investigating the incident as a homicide but did not elaborate more. It's not clear if the people were killed and then the house was set on fire or if the fire caused their deaths. The cause of the fire has also not yet been revealed.
5:37 is your time now, and Jay Leno returned to the stage last night following a burn accident a few weeks ago. He took the stage at the Comedy and Magic Club in Hermosa Beach to a sold-out crowd. It was his first show since he was burned 2 weeks ago while working under one of his vintage cars. Leno was joined by his wife Mavis and the club's owner. According to eyewitnesses, he appeared in good spirits, cracking jokes as he walked into the club.
What gave me the strength?
Yeah, seriously.
I'm a comedian. What gave me the strength? There's no strength. You can't tell stupid jokes.
Your work ethic is insane.
Well, thank you very much.
And
not as much as yours. You're out in the middle of the night with a microphone.
You look great.
Well, thanks, you guys.
They say Leno looked like himself and burns were not glaringly visible. He spent 10 days at the Grossman Burn Center and was treated for 2nd and 3rd degree burns to his face, hands, and chest. He underwent 2 surgeries. Yeah, he looks incredible.
The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.